It's a multi-million-dollar collection of sophisticated electronic equipment purchased by taxpayers and then dumped in the trash. How could this happen?
Tonight, right along with investigative reporter Larry Barker as he tracks down the secret behind the Railrunner rubbish.
Consider some of the greatest technology breakthroughs of the past 6 decades. We unlocked the secrets of DNA. Commercially viable electric automobiles became a reality. And then there was the moonwalk.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
But there's one technological development that has proven stubbornly elusive.
You see, long ago we figured out how to land a man on the moon, but today we can't seem to get Wi-Fi to work on a moving train. Case in point, the Railrunner. Some of the brightest minds in New Mexico devoted more than a decade to the problem. However, despite several unsuccessful installations, Wi-Fi on the Railrunner proved to be a tough nut to crack.
And what do taxpayers have to show for a 10-year, multi-million-dollar investment in railroad Wi-Fi? Piles of discarded cables, routers, antennas, transmitters, and miscellaneous electronic doodads.
It upsets me. I do not want to misuse taxpayer money.
Dewey Cave heads up Rio Metro, which operates the Railrunner.
I was surprised that it didn't work. But we are going to find somebody accountable.
Shortly after the Railrunner began operation in 2008, installation of an onboard wireless network became a priority. The goal? Give passengers a means to stay connected while riding the rails from Berlin to Santa Fe. In 2013, after New Mexico's Transportation Department shelled out some $2.8 million, passenger Wi-Fi on the Railrunner became a reality. Well, sort of. You see, the new wireless system only worked intermittently, and then not at all.
Today, what's the value of the WiMAX Wi-Fi equipment to the Railrunner and to taxpayers?
Zero value.
Robert Gonzalez is Rio Metro's Director of Operations.
The company went out of business. The equipment became obsolete and non-functional, and we could not replace or buy parts to replace any of the radios or any of the components that were associated with that project.
Electronic hardware worth millions was unceremoniously dumped beside the tracks, and just like that, Railrunner Wi-Fi was back to square one. In 2020, Rio Metro contracted with a company called Wabtec to install a new wireless system that included, once again, 40-foot radio towers, routers, servers, antennas, and rail car modifications. In October 2022, the $5.3 million Wi-Fi construction project was turned on. 18 months later, it was turned off.
To my surprise and dismay, it didn't work. It worked in some areas, it didn't. And so we kept after them to fix it, but they never did fix it to our satisfaction.
Rio Metro soon discovered just buying expensive electronic equipment doesn't necessarily mean the gear is going to work. You see, New Mexico's commuter railroad has its own unique challenges.
We're a 100-mile corridor. It's undulating territory. It's curvature. We have to go through a canyon, and you're going from Belen, 4,000 feet, to Santa Fe, 7,200 feet. We worked with Wabtec for over a year. I mean, we went on the trains testing this thing. It was a tasking job to try and get this thing up and running correctly. I mean, we were at weekly meetings, daily trips, writing reports, and arguing with Wabtec, but it just never lived up to its standards.
Today, the Wabtec Wi-Fi equipment installed on the Railrunner, is that being used today for its intended purpose?
No, sir.
Rio Metro shelled out $5.3 million for a workable Wi-Fi system. Did you get what you paid for?
No, sir.
The expensive wireless network was permanently dismantled in April.
It upsets me, and we're talking to our attorneys to see what options we have.
Add it all up, and taxpayers have shelled out more than $8 million for Railrunner's non-functioning equipment.
When you think of that pile of Wi-Fi hardware sitting in the rail yards, just rotting in the elements, what goes through your mind?
It was a waste. Yeah, it's a pile of rubbish.
Larry Barker, KRQE, News 13.
Now, there is a positive end to this story. Thanks to new technology, the Railrunner is now equipped with a satellite Wi-Fi system that Railrunner officials report is working well with no complaints.